Boom. What's up, everybody? We are live. I'm sorry I'm late. I am 9 minutes late, and I'm never late for a live stream, so I apologize. But we are live. We're here, and we're about to get into it. Man, it has been a crazy few weeks with all the new videos and stuff. So the reason why we're live today is because I need to tell you guys about a brand new collab album dropping this Friday at 9 a.m. I haven't dropped an album since August of last year. I haven't dropped a collab album since January of 2020. So it's been over a year since my last collab album dropped. And my brand new collaboration album called As Far as the Stars drops this Friday at www.hangovergang.com. I have 10,000 copies on deck. I got 10,000 copies, and I have a team of friends that have already started putting these things in envelopes and will literally be on call on Friday. When these albums drop, they are going to be there to pack them and send them out immediately to you guys. Brand new collaboration album, As Far as the Stars. It drops this Friday at 9 a.m. Look, I'm going to get into doing some question and answer here in a minute, just like we always do. We'll do the Q&A. But I'd really like to try to keep the questions album focused. So if you have some questions about this new album that's dropping Friday, start dropping those questions in the comments right now. This live stream is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to tell you guys a couple little stories here and sort of give you guys some insight into this album that's dropping on Friday. Like I said, it's a collab album. It is with my girlfriend, Nova Rockefeller. It is with my best friend, Brandon Hart. We came together and created this album, As Far as the Stars. And that's dropping Friday at 9 a.m. My first collab album in over a year. I can't wait. And I'm very, very excited. So I have a little list here of things I want to talk about in regards to this album, and I have a couple little stories where I was sitting around today reminiscing about what actually went into like making this album and my relationship with Nova and Brandon over the years, and it just like sparked a lot of memories and reminded me of just a lot of stories and a lot of things that contributed to this album. So I just got to say, man, like this album is so special. To be able to create something with your girlfriend and your best friend after everything that we've been through together, it just hits different. And I hate it when people say that, oh, this hits different, it hits different, it hits different. That's become a really trendy thing to say. This album hits different. There's just no other way to say it. Nova, I know you're watching this somewhere in the house right now and the comments aren't coming up for me. So if you could bring in a laptop so I can read the comments, that'd be great. So let's just get into this. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about like how I met Brandon and how I met Nova and how those relationships sort of fostered and developed over the years. So it's really crazy when you look back. Like, I'll take you all the way back to Canada in Vancouver. I'm sitting in my apartment, literally going through one of the worst times of my life. I'm drunk all the time. I'm unhappy all the time. I'm depressed. I'm struggling with my music. I'm releasing stuff constantly. It's not getting any views. I'm not getting any traction. It's just a really difficult time. And then literally one day out of the blue, I get a message from this guy, Brandon Hart, on Facebook. And thanks, sweetheart. And Brandon and I never had any relationship, didn't know each other. Brandon was a musician. We had never met through any circles. Brandon was friends with a lot of rappers who just didn't like me. And Brandon would tell these rappers that I was his favorite artist. And those rappers would just trash me and shit on me and say, oh, why you like that guy? That guy's garbage, blah, 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 blah. But Brandon, even without knowing me as a person, stood up for me and stuck up for me and told those guys, you know what? Fuck you. I like Tom Macdonald and I like his music, and fuck you guys. And that led to Brandon one night sending me this message on Facebook. And I had been releasing a lot of music at the time about, being brokenhearted and being depressed and being an alcoholic and stuff like that. And I guess Brandon was going through his own stuff. Brandon was brokenhearted. Brandon was an alcoholic. Brandon was depressed a lot. So what I was saying in my music resonated with him. And he sent me a message one day on Facebook and he just said, hey man, big fan of your music. I love what you're doing. Like, we should hook up sometime and have a drink or something. And honestly, I've always been the type of guy where I'm very skeptical of people. So I didn't hit him back right away. And he kept hitting me up. And he kept saying, hey bro, love the new song you just dropped. Would still love to take you out for a drink and get to know you. Blah, 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 blah. And I just blew him off and blew him off and blew him off and blew him off until one night I'm sitting at my house and I'm feeling worse than I've ever felt. And I'm depressed and I'm looking for somebody to get drunk with. And I was such an asshole and spent so much time working on my music and ignoring my friends and blowing people off and not going to functions when they asked me to go to them, that nobody was picking up their phone that night. And I wanted to go out and I wanted to get drunk something fierce. So I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to hit up that Brandon kid and see if he wants to go out and have a drink or whatever. So I hit Brandon up and I said, hey dude, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to go downtown and get shit-faced. So if you want to come with me, like, I'll meet with you downtown. We'll go out and have a few beers, whatever. Brandon, maybe sensing that I'm like in a bad place, goes, you know what, man, how about I just take you out for dinner? I'll just take you out for a dinner and we'll sit down. We'll have a bite to eat. We'll get to know each other, blah, 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 blah. I end up going to meet Brandon and I meet him and he brings his girlfriend. We sit down, have a dinner together, get to know each other, went to some cool little spot downtown, quiet, dimly lit, live music, all this type of shit. I'm sitting there with Brandon and his girlfriend eating dinner. We're getting to know each other. We're talking and stuff. After we finish eating, Brandon picks up the bill. We end up going out and just getting obliterated. And very rarely in life do you meet people who you instantly have a connection with. And you're like, yo, this guy is going to be like one of my best friends ever. And here we are 10 years down the line. And like, Brandon has always given me a couch to sleep on when I needed one. He's always put food on my plate when I was hungry. I've blown up air mattresses and put them in this guy's living room and slept in his living room for months at a time. Like, this guy has literally held it down from the moment I met him. I remember Brandon and I went to play a live show, and I was rapping and Brandon was my hype man. And we were playing on a boat in like the middle of the ocean in Canada. So whatever, we get out there. It's all cool. We do the show. We perform the show. And now we're waiting, and we're way out in the middle of the ocean, and it's still like an hour and a half till we get back to land. And I'm thinking to myself, like, shit, I don't know where the promoter is. I haven't seen him in like 2 hours. I need to get my money. And Brandon's like, well, you want me to find him? And I was like, yeah, like, we got to find him, and we got to get our money. So, dude, in the middle of the ocean, Brandon finds this guy. standing out on like the back deck. So me and Brandon finds him. He goes, yo, Tom, he's out here, whatever. We go meet with him. We're like, yo, we just performed the show. We need our money. And we really need this money, you guys. Like, we are starving, broke artists at this point in time. Like, we need the money from the show to survive, to get food and to pay for rent. So the guy says, like, okay, yeah, like, I don't actually have the money here. Like, we're going to have to go dock the boat, go into the city, get the money, withdraw it from a bank account, and then we'll meet up with you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever and pay you out. And Brandon's standing there like this. And I just remember Brandon turning and looking at me. And I just looked at Brandon and I just shook my head. This ain't happening. And Brandon looks back at this kid and he's like, yo, you either go get Tom his money right now or you're fucking swimming back to Vancouver. Period. You get the money right now or you're swimming back to this city. And we're like in the middle of the fucking ocean. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is the real deal Holyfield right here. So what ends up happening is this kid's scrambling around the boat trying to get our money, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't end up getting it. The boat docks. Brandon rounds up all the artists who performed on this boat, and we all stand on the dock. So if you're getting off the boat, there's no way you're getting to land without passing me and the rest of all the artists that performed on this boat. So when this promoter comes off the boat and he's walking down the dock and sees all of us, Brandon's like, yo, you ain't going nowhere. There's an ATM on that boat. You better go get everybody's fucking money. Half an hour later, this kid's on the phone frantically calling people. He has his friends come down. His friends go to the ATM, withdraw money out of their bank accounts to pay me and the rest of the artists on that boat show. So, like, it's just really crazy that Brandon started off as just a fan and somebody who resonated with my music and literally became my best friend, did that thing on the boat. I can't tell you how many fights Brandon's like backed me up in. I can't tell you how many times this guy's fed me when I needed food or lent me money when I needed money or gave me his couch to crash on. It's just really crazy. Like, sometimes God just, or whatever that thing is that runs the universe, he just sends you angels sometimes, I swear. And Brandon, to me, was just an angel that came to me in the worst time of my life. And now here we are doing this album as far as the stars together. And that's just half of the equation. Like, the other half of the equation is Nova, my girlfriend. And like, you guys know all about like where Nova and I were just a couple of years ago. You know that we were living in the hood and we were living in a rundown house and there was roaches and rats and mice and bugs in that house and the ceiling was leaking water and it ruined studio equipment from the water leaking through the roof. Like, you guys know the situation that Nova and I were in like a couple of years ago. But what you might not know about Nova and I is sort of how we got to that place. So, Nova put me on my very first rap show ever in Canada. When I decided I was a pro wrestler and I got out of the pro wrestling thing and wanted to be a musician, Nova was the first person I ever reached out to. I heard that Nova was a rapper. I heard that she put on her own shows at this bar in the club district in Edmonton. And I sent her an email and I was like, yo, can I be on this rap show? And she was like, send me some of your music and we'll see. I sent her some of my music, which was fucking awful music at the time. So I don't know if she had terrible taste or she'd seen a photo of me and saw how devilishly handsome I was. Either way, she said, sure, you can be on the show. So I met up with her. I helped her put up posters for the show all over the club district. We were probably like, I don't know, 16, 17 years old. No, I guess we were performing in bars, so we must have been I had a fake ID when I was 17. So I was either 17 or 18. She was about the same age. We put up the posters for the show. She was handing out flyers. Boom, 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 boom. Did that show with Nova. Her brother was the DJ that night. And I performed a song called Throw Your Drink at the DJ. And somebody actually threw their drink at the DJ who was Nova's brother. So I didn't exactly get off on the right foot with Nova's family. But that was sort of the spark that would eventually ignite the flame that was Nova and I. So Nova and I have been friends since then. We just always just barely missed one another. Like when she moved from Edmonton, I moved to Vancouver. When I was in Vancouver, she was in Edmonton. When I was in Edmonton, she was in Toronto. When I moved back to Vancouver, she was in Jamaica, and then Nova moved to California, and I was still stuck in Vancouver. And then finally, I made the move down south to the United States, and we were finally in the same city at the same time. But this is all after I had this crazy mental breakdown and fought with my alcoholism for years. And what you guys probably don't know is that when I got to the States, I was not in a good way. I was like fresh off a mental breakdown. If I wasn't anxious, I was depressed. If I wasn't depressed, there was something physically ailing me. I just had chronic health problems. And when I first moved out to the States, I was having these sort of chronic headaches, like all the time, debilitating headaches. Headaches so bad that it felt like a knife would stab me in the head and my body would actually like flinch from the pain. So I'm having these crazy headaches. I'm living by myself in this rundown apartment, and Nova is texting me and hollering at me saying that, hey, I'm really going through some stuff right now. I'd love to hang out with you. We haven't seen each other since you moved out here. I don't know why that is. This is really difficult. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't ever respond back to her. Or I do respond back to her and I make a date and then I no-show. I flake out and I just don't go. Because I'm dealing with all of these weird health issues that I'm not telling anybody about. And it's like the last thing I want to do is like go to Nova's house to hang out, and the whole time I'm a nervous wreck because my anxiety's cranked up. I'm going to therapy. I'm getting these headaches. I just didn't want somebody to see me like in that state. So the headaches get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I end up going to the doctor. I tell the doctor all about what I'm going through, and that doctor recommends that I go for an MRI. The doctor tells me the symptoms that you're reporting, like the headaches are really localized. It was affecting my vision. Like I was real messed up. And the doctor said, look, like what you're describing sounds like it could be like a brain tumor. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And she's like, yeah, you got to go for an MRI to get this thing figured out. So I don't even have the money to get an MRI done. So I have to like reach out to my parents at that time, borrow the $500 to go get an MRI done. I go get the MRI. I wait like 3 or 4 days for the results to come back. The doctor calls me and says, good news, it's not a brain tumor. You have like an intensely deviated septum and it's causing these wicked sinus headaches, and you have chronic sinusitis, and that's what the problem is. So when I get that phone call, it's like a fucking weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I was pretty sure that I was going to die for like the last whatever month. The first person I call after I get that good news is Nova. And I'm like, yo, to be completely honest, Nova, I'm sorry for blowing you off. I'm sorry for not calling and not showing up. But I thought I had fucking cancer for the last month. I thought I had a brain tumor. Shit was not good. Do you want to hang out? I can literally come over like right now. And she's like, yeah, come over to the house. So I go over to Nova's place, hang out for the first time in years, and we start making music. And we develop this band called GFBF. And in the process of making this band and hanging out and recording music, we just fall in love after all of these years. Like, you know, sometimes there's love at first sight, and sometimes it's just love after all. And I really do feel like I loved Nova the moment I saw her, but that was never given a chance to grow. And we both took separate paths and went our own ways and didn't give that relationship any time to incubate. So then we get back together, we start making this music, we fall in love, we make this band, and then once the band's been made and the album's done and blah, 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 and we're living together and we're broke and shit is ugly and we can't afford rent, we don't have groceries, da-da-da-da-da, I write Dear Rappers and my shit blows up overnight. And because my stuff blows up, it totally takes over our lives. We got to follow Dear Rappers up with Hell of It. We got to follow Hell of It up with White Boy. We got to follow White Boy up with Politically Incorrect and This House and Everybody Hates Me and blah, 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 blah. And before you know it, GFBF has been forgotten about. Nova and I are working 24 hours a day. And the music that we fell in love with each other making together never gets to come out. And Nova is the sole reason why I was able to keep up with demands, shoot as many videos as I shot. She helps me pack orders. She helps me send stuff in the mail to you guys, helps me design the merch, blah, 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 blah. Nova was really the reason why I survived the initial sort of blow up of my career. And I was in a dark place still when I went to Nova's house for the first time, and she kind of took me by the hand and ended up walking me out of that darkness. So just like Brandon, like I said, that Brandon was like an angel and he was sent to me, Nova was an angel and she was sent to me. Like, I know it sounds corny. I'm not like an overly religious dude. I don't sit around reading the Bible. I don't go to church on Sundays. I don't go to mass. I don't do that. I believe in something. I don't know what I believe in, but I believe in something. And I damn sure believe that Nova and Brandon were just angels sent into my life. And those two people literally saved me from myself. It's really crazy. Which brings us... all that stuff I just told you about Nova, all that stuff I just told you about Brandon, that brings us to now. And I've known Nova for 14 years. I've known Brandon for 10 years. Nova and I have been dating for 5 years. And in this whole 14-year friendship that Nova and I and Brandon have known each other, we've never made music together, ever. I made my music, Nova made her music, Brandon made his music, and that was that. And I just felt like Nova and Brandon have done so much for me. They saved my life. If it wasn't for Nova and Brandon, my music wouldn't be coming out right now, period. There would be no me. I would be dead and gone a long time ago. I spent 9 months debating if I was going to kill myself or not. Those two people are a big part of the reason why I'm still here. So after 14 years, none of us have ever made any music together, which brings us to now. And 8 months ago, Nova bought me a guitar. It was either for my birthday or for Christmas. I don't remember which one it was. And she was worried that I wasn't going to like that guitar. I had been borrowing her guitar a lot, playing her guitar in the studio, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, damn, I got to get this kid his own guitar so he can stop stealing mine. So Nova bought me this guitar, this Jimmy Page edition, Telecaster. And she kept it a secret and held on to it, but I kept stealing her guitar and playing with it in the studio, and she wanted her guitar, and she was worried that I wasn't going to like the one that she got me. So she just said, yo, I'm going to give you your birthday / Christmas. I don't remember. I'm going to give you your Christmas present early. So she pulls this guitar out. I open up the case and I'm just like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, of course I love this guitar. Yes, I want it. And I took that guitar and spent 7 months teaching myself how to play it, coming up with different melodies and riffs, messing around with it in the studio, blah, 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 blah. The first riff I ever played on that guitar, the first thing I ever wrote and played on that guitar was No Good Bastards. That was the first thing I ever wrote on that guitar. That song has 7 billboards and 2 number ones. That's crazy to me. So I took that guitar. I spent 7 months in the studio with that guitar, and I just thought to myself, yo, this is the time to make that album with Brandon and Nova. I felt like I owed them for everything that they've done for me in my life. All the times they've saved me, and all the times they helped me out when I needed it. I was like, yo, I owe Brandon and Nova at this point in time. I love them. They're both incredible musicians who don't get the recognition that they deserve. My stuff's blowing up right now. Let's just do it. Let's do it right now. So I spent 7 months in the studio making the beats and writing songs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sending them to Brandon and I'm sending them to Nova, and they love them. So they're writing and we have this big plan. Like, we're going to bring Brandon out from Canada. He's going to stay in the house with us for 3 months. We're going to record this entire album. We're going to shoot all these videos, blah, 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 blah. And then the fucking coronavirus hits and the world goes into a massive pandemic. Now, Brandon can't cross the border. He can't come here and shoot videos. He can't come to the studio. I can't record him. We can't write together, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck. This album is 14 years in the making. We have to execute this album. It has to get done. Like, pandemic or not. I didn't work my balls off for the last 15 years of my life to let a fucking virus screw everything up for me now. So I thought everything was ruined, but we just pushed through. We recorded every song long distance. We shot the videos thousands of miles apart from one another. We got on Skype and Zoom and wrote for hours and hours and hours with each other. We coordinated photographers to take Brandon's photos in Canada and take Nova and I's photos here, and then combined all those photos to make the album art, and wrote video treatments, and the confession booth that we built here for church. Brandon and I bought identical materials. I bought my materials to build that in the States. Brandon bought his materials to build that in Canada. We built identical confession booths for that music video to create the illusion that we were in the same place at the same time. No Good Bastards, heart emojis, and church, all 3 of those videos were shot half in the United States and half in Canada. And then Nova edited them together. So it just felt like the world was against us and against this album. But it was us against the world, and we were fighting it together, which made it possible. So it's like, it's just really difficult to wrap your mind around. Not only is this album 14 years of breakups and breakdowns and arguments and successes and failures and good days and bad days, not only is this album 14 years of our lives wrapped up into 14 songs, it's also the blood, sweat, and tears of the creative process, which ended up being far more difficult than the creative process of anything I've ever done before. You guys wonder why I don't do features and I do everything solo myself? That's why. When you start getting more people involved, shit gets really hard, it gets really difficult, and it gets difficult fast. But I just knew come hell or high water, this album had to happen. I owed it to Brandon. I owed it to Nova. I had made some of the... What ended up happening was, like, this album is one of the most incredible projects that any of the three of us have ever made. We rapped our asses off. We sung our balls off. I played some guitar. There's tons of piano. It's not a rock album. I don't know what this is. This album is unlike anything that you've ever heard before, period. It's like we almost created a genre with this. Those songs that I put out, Church and Heart Emojis and No Good Bastards, I put those out for a reason. Because those were the closest sounding things to a genre that the world is familiar with. The rest of this album is literally like the very essence of innovation and originality and who the three of us are as people. Like, I have never heard in my life, period, an album that sounds like this. Every once in a while, like an artist comes along and does a project that is completely different than any of their other projects. Led Zeppelin's done it. Kanye West has done it. Lil Wayne's done it. Eminem's done it. A lot of people, they change how they change sonically how the album is built and how it sounds. And they build it from the ground up. And it becomes this sort of like art piece, this different feeling, different sounding thing, different than the rest of their catalog and their entire discography. And for me, that's this album as far as the stars. I don't know if I've ever been this advantageous artistically or adventurous creatively. This album is entirely different than anything I've ever done. And usually, a lot of the times when people decide to do something different, a lot of the times it doesn't turn out that good. That's why I'm so proud of this album. As different as it is, it might be my favorite project that I've ever done. And I've heard Nova and Brandon say on separate occasions, it's the favorite album that they've ever done. So it's pretty cool, man. There is not any amount of money. There isn't any fancy car. There isn't any big house. There isn't any name brand clothes. There is nothing on the planet that is as fulfilling as doing what you love with the people you love for the people who mean the most to you. And that's you guys. That's Hangover Gang. So, man, I am so excited to give this to you guys on Friday. Hangovergang.com. I got 10,000 copies on deck. I got a whole team of friends literally ready to push these things out the door. The second you guys order them, the second you guys buy them, they're going to be out the door on the way to your houses. We've got a whole new system worked out now where these things are going to be shipping immediately, so there's not going to be a big wait time. You don't have to wait 2 weeks for your album. If you order it, it's going out the door like the next day. So Friday morning, 9 a.m., the new collaboration album, As Far as the Stars, drops. I'm really excited. I'm really, really nervous. I got 10,000 copies sitting in my house right now. And I hope everything that I've talked about so far in this live stream, I hope you guys learned some stuff and some shit that maybe you didn't even know you wanted to know about my relationship with Brandon and Nova and how we came together and what got us to this point. So I'm just so excited, man. Friday morning, 9 a.m., As Far as the Stars album drops. that's my big stories for the day. I wrote it out in point form so I didn't forget anything. And I'm going to jump into the comments right now, and I'm going to answer as many of your questions as possible. You can feel free to ask about whatever you want, but seeing as we are dropping this album on Friday, I'm going to
Sorry.
Oh, my watch is going off. I'm going to answer primarily questions about the album. So if there's anything you guys want to know about the album or the videos or the process or anything about me and Brandon and Nova and how this whole thing has come to be, feel free to drop those in the comment section. I'm looking at my computer right now. I'm going to start scrolling through and answering questions literally right now. Brad Horseman says, are you going to release this album as Hangover Gang or just your names? This album is going to be called As Far as the Stars, Tom Macdonald, Brandon Hart, Nova Rockefeller. That's the thing about Hangover Gang, is that to me, if we said that this album was done by Hangover Gang, that kind of turns Hangover Gang into like a band, you know? And to me, like, Hangover Gang's much more than a band. It's a community of tons of amazing people, and not everybody out there is a musician. And of course, I'm in the Hangover Gang, and Nova's in Hangover Gang, and Brandon's in Hangover Gang. But so are all of you guys. You guys are Hangover Gang. And I mean, you guys didn't all perform on the album with us, so I don't even think it would be fair to you if I said that this album was done by the Hangover Gang, because it's all of us together. So this album will be As Far as the Stars, Tom Macdonald, Nova Rockefeller, and Brandon Hart. I'm just jumping back into the questions here. Shelby Kristen says, are you the primary singer-rapper on this album? You're all incredible. No, I'm not like the primary rapper and singer on the album. Like, I rap on every single song. I sing on every single song. There's maybe one or two songs where I do a little bit more rapping than anybody else, but we all rap and sing and perform on every single song on this album. Like, it truly is a collaboration album in its truest sense. Like, we all gave it everything we had. We're all on every single song. And I think, honestly, like, that is part of this sort of magic recipe that turned this album into something that I don't think any of us expected it to be as amazing as it is. And it took all three of us to make it that. So I wouldn't say that anybody is the primary anything on this project. We all gave it everything that we had. We're all on every single song. Like I said, I did produce the entire thing and make the beats. So there was a couple songs where I was like, I got to get a little extra in on this one because I love it too much. But everybody is featured in a really healthy way across the entire project. I'm just in the comments here. Larry Shaw says, are you going to put some of the songs off this album on iTunes so people can listen to it? Look, here's the thing, man. My last, 4 albums have all been physical releases. That's just the way I do it. That's the way that I like to do it. I've put out 3 songs from this album already. Church, No Good Bastards, and Heart Emojis. If you want to hear the other 11 songs, you got to get the album. That's just what it is. You can take the album, you can rip it onto your computer, you can put it on your phone, you can add it to your iTunes library, etc., etc., etc. But I do that for like a couple reasons. Typically, my albums are 20 songs long, and I put out 10 songs for free with videos that are on iTunes and all streaming services. Most artists' albums are only 10 songs long as it is. So it's like by the time I get around to releasing my album of 20 songs, I've already given the world 10 free songs. So I'm breaking my back over here producing all this music and putting in 20-hour days doing this. I need to be able to, I got bills and groceries and shit I got to get too. So I sell my albums. I give people tons of free music. If you want a physical copy of my album and you want to hear the other 11, 12 songs, you got to get the album. I feel like I put enough free streaming, downloadable music out into the world. I do it constantly. This is something special that I do. In a day and age where people are releasing one copy of an album as an NFT now and they're charging $50,000 for it and shit like that, like to me, that's a little bit of a money grab, but the CDs is different. You gotta, like, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 88. I am of the generation who, when Slipknot dropped, when Eminem dropped, when these big artists that I was in love with, when they dropped, I was sitting outside that CD store at 8:30 a.m. every single time, waiting for that store to open so I could rush inside, grab my CD, pay for it, go home. And that's what's missing in music today. It's not an experience anymore. It's just completely expendable. You hear it, it goes in one ear, out the other, and it's done. I used to sit in my bedroom cross-legged on a pillow with my headphones on, and I would look at the album art, I would read the song titles, I would flip through the CD booklet with my headphones on, listening to the album, and it was like an experience for me. And that was like one of my favorite childhood memories. It is being able to experience music like that. And people don't have that anymore. Now it's just like, oh, you go download it on iTunes, you listen to it one time and it's done and you don't give a shit about it ever again. I don't want to make music that's that easily discarded. I'm not into making recyclable, expendable, garbageable music. I want it to be an experience. I want you guys to be able to hold it in your hands, put it in a CD player, put your headphones on, and experience the music. What you do with it from there is up to you. You want to rip it off the CD, put it on your phone, put it on your iPod, put it on your computer, do whatever the fuck you want with it. But I want it to be an experience for you like music was an experience for me. I think that's special. I think it's missing in the world today, and I think it's important. Not to mention that you guys know we do this independently. There is no record label or manager or PR or agent or publicist or nothing. There's no team. I make the beats. We wrote all the songs together. We shot all the videos together. We designed the album artwork. We designed everything about this album. I want it to go from my hands to your hands. When you hold that album, you should be thinking, yo, I helped this guy get 100 million views last month. I helped this guy get 1.5 million listeners on Spotify. That's you guys. There's no label to credit for that work. There's no label to praise for those numbers. That's you guys. All the Billboard charts, the views, the streams, blah, 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 blah. You guys did that. So I feel like if it wasn't for you, these albums would not exist. So part of me needs you guys to be able to hold those albums in your hand. Because I kind of look at it like each one of these albums is like a brick in the wall that we're building together. And I don't want to just build a giant wall for everybody to look at. I want everybody else to have their own bricks that they can hold in their hands and look at and build their own wall and be like, yo, I did that. This guy, this independent artist, he's one of the biggest independent artists in the world today because of me. It's important. That's why I do the CD things. That's 3 reasons why. So yeah. So the albums will be available on hangovergang.com. That's the only place on the planet you can get them. hangovergang.com. And they drop Friday at 9 a.m. I'm going to jump back into the questions here and answer some more. People are asking if you guys can pre-order the album. You cannot pre-order the album. I have 10,000 copies on deck. They drop Friday morning at 9 a.m. If and when those are sold out, I will get another 10,000 in. Don't sweat it. But the first 10,000 will be out the door immediately. So just be ready Friday morning, 9 a.m. I'm just flipping through here, looking at your guys' questions. Let me see here. Okay. Just flipping through. Somebody asked, where's Nova? I think Nova's in the other room, probably watching this right now. Nova, if you want to come say hi, you can just come in here, because I know you're watching this in the living room. So if you want to come say hi to all these people, come say hi. Nicole Burke says, when you drop the album on Friday, will it be in our emails? I will send out an email to everybody on Friday morning. So here's
Hello,
Nova.
It's me.
Have you been watching?
Yes.
And what did you think so far?
Oh, babe, you almost had me crying when you were talking about me and Brandon and stuff like that. I was like, he's baiting me.
You thought I was clickbaiting you?
Yes. He's always making me cry. He reads me his speeches and stuff, and I'm just a mess. I'm terrible at speeches.
Do you remember that? Back when I thought I had brain cancer? And
Yeah.
that's why I wasn't hanging out with you?
Yeah.
Crazy times, man. Crazy
Yeah.
times.
Well, hello. Goodbye. I'm going to go watch now.
You enjoy this so much, you're going to go watch me from the other room?
Well, I just, I'm chilling, man.
Okay, I'm just flipping through the questions here. Heather Romano says, Nova didn't rap on the last two songs in the videos we released. Are you gonna rap? Is she gonna rap more on the album? Yo, literally. Okay, remember how I told you guys, like, we had plans for Brandon to come out here and we were gonna shoot all the videos together and blah 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 blah. And we were going to do everything together, right? And then the coronavirus hit and it fucked everybody's plans up. We had those two songs that we released that Nova wasn't on. Those are literally the only two songs on the entire album that Nova's not rapping on. This is the only two songs. Because the other songs, like, this is the other frustrating thing for me. Those three songs that we released, they're not even anywhere near the best songs on the album. They're just the only songs that we could figure out how to shoot videos for long distance. The best songs on that album, trust me, you're going to know when you hear them. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is crazy. We couldn't shoot videos for the best songs because the songs were so good. They deserved these big, extravagant, wild videos. And because of the pandemic, we couldn't shoot those videos. So we kind of had to go with whatever songs we could figure out how to shoot videos for long distance with Brandon in the middle of the pandemic. So Church and Heart Emojis, we just had to do those because they were the only songs that we could figure out how to shoot for. And it just happened to be that those were the only two songs on the project that Nova wasn't on. So when you hear this album, it's 14 or 15 songs long. Nova's on all 13 songs minus those two, which was a very frustrating thing for all of us because it was really, like, important for me to let the world know how great Nova is and put her on those songs. And then because of the circumstances that we were in, it didn't end up happening like that, which was a very frustrating thing. But it's just the way the cookie crumbled. So when you guys get the As Far as the Stars album on Friday, and it gets to your place by probably Monday, and you pop it in and start listening to it, you're going to be blown away. She's on every single song. So that's the long and short of that. Brittany Gish says, when does the album come out? I don't know if she's trolling me because I've said it comes out Friday a million times, or if she just actually joined and doesn't know. But the album drops this Friday at 9 a.m. It's Wednesday now, so not tomorrow. Tomorrow would be Thursday, but the next day, Friday, 9 a.m. Melissa Troutman says, how did we do on Billboard with church? We got 7 billboards with church. We didn't get any number 1s, unfortunately, but we got a number 3, a number 4, a number 6, a number 9, a 20, and then 2 lower ones. If you go on my Instagram, I just posted a picture of the billboard charts for church. So we did amazing. We didn't do as well as No Good Bastards, but church did incredible. So that's on, church is on the new album dropping this Friday. Lisa Marie Noon says, what is the most special song on As Far as the Stars and why? I would also love to ask the same question to Brandon and Nova. Man, I don't actually have the album with me. Nova, if you're out there, bring me a copy of As Far as the Stars, please. I got to answer this question. It's just like, this is going to be a really difficult thing to ask and to answer. And the reason why I don't have the CD with me right now is because I don't want to show you guys the album cover yet. I've been keeping it super secret. If you saw the photo I posted this morning, I was holding it and I blurred the front of the album cover out because we put so much energy and work and thought into this album cover. It's like literally like a work of art in itself, and I don't want to show anybody yet. Okay, so I'm looking at the song right now. I know that Brandon and Nova are going to have their own answers for this. And this is really, really difficult because if there is one thing that this album has, if there's one thing that is As Far as the Stars, it is heart and soul. Like, every single song on this album has so much heart behind it and so much soul in it. Even the bangers and the upbeat songs, like, they're about really real shit, really real parts of our lives. They have so much heart in them. So every single one of these songs on this album, and I'm looking at it right now. Here, I'll show you guys just a little corner of it. That's all I'm going to show you. But I'm holding it in my hand. Every single one of these songs has a place on this album, and it needed to be made for one reason or another. The songs spoke to us. I'll leave it at this. There's a song called All for Nothing. There's a song called Best Nights of Our Lives. There's a song called Superstars. Oh, there's like 4 more that I want to tell you guys, but those songs to me spoke the loudest to me. They are just, I think I already told you why they're special. These are actual things. This whole album is the journey that Nova and I and Brandon and I, it's an accumulative journey through life together. And these songs are reflective of everything that we've been through. The good and the bad, and the sunny days and the rainy days, and the successes and the failures, and the mountain peaks and the pitfalls. It's literally everything. So every song is so important to me and means so much to me. It's difficult to pick one out, because if I pick one song, I'm picking one chapter of our journey through life together and sort of negating how important all the other chapters are. So that's a really difficult question to answer. I'm just flipping through here, looking for some questions. Sarge Pent says, that was a badass Buzz Lightyear outfit you guys put together. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I released a sort of promo video for the album that's dropping this Friday, where I was dressed up in a spacesuit, and then I was at a NASA press conference, and I was playing this astronaut speaking to a room full of reporters at a press conference, and sort of narrating like what the essence of the album is in an interview format. Anyways, I released that video 2 days ago. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but check it out on my YouTube. It's the As Far as the Stars promo video, and I dressed up like a spaceman, and it's really cool. Denise Leslie says, I love the Care Bear tank. Thank you very much. I don't know what it is, but I really fuck with the Care Bears, man. I've never even seen the Care Bears. I don't know if you guys were in my last live stream when we talked about SpongeBob and sort of my obsession with SpongeBob. Like, and then I watched SpongeBob and I fucking hated it. It's the same thing with the Care Bears. I just like iconic, colorful shit. And the Care Bears are iconic and colorful. So I have all these fucking Care Bear fucking stuffed animals on my couch here. I got this shirt. And I don't think I've ever seen the fucking Care Bears. I just like what they look like. It just gives me comfort on some weird level. So I just like pop art, man. And lately I've had this thing with like bright pink and purple and yellow and green and shit. Like I like colorful shit right now. I don't know. Pedro Arana says, is there a difference in sentimental value between this album and the Killing the Neighbors album that I released last year? You know what, man? I loved the Killing the Neighbors album. I had a great time making that album, and it was different than anything that I'd done up until that point. But there is absolutely a difference in sentimental value between that project and this project. The two people that I made this album with have like literally been in my life for 10, 14, 15 years. They've seen me go through the worst of the worst. They've been there with me when I was going through the best of the best. Like, these two people, Brandon and Nova, have the most accurate full scope of who I am as a person. And I feel the same way about them. I have a really good idea of who Nova is and who Brandon is. I know how to talk with them. I know how to live with them. I know how to sit in silence with them. It's these two people. These are the most comfortable relationships I've ever had in my life. We know each other like the backs of our hands. So it would be impossible to end up doing this album together and not have it be on some level the most important, highest sentimental value album that I've ever made. And it definitely is. So Scott Fisher says, were all the songs written by you, or are all the songs written collaboratively? So the way it worked is, for the most part, I wrote all my stuff. Brandon wrote all his stuff, and Nova wrote all her stuff. I made all the beats. I played all the guitar. I played all the different instruments and pianos, and anything that you hear, I played those instruments. But when it came down to writing, I wrote my stuff, Nova wrote her stuff, and Brandon wrote his. But we did all get on like a lot of Skype calls and Zoom calls, like I spoke about, and we were reading each other our different parts to the songs, and we were relating what we were writing to the concept of the song. And if one of us had a good idea, like, oh, hey, Nova, like, maybe you should say this in your verse, or change this part to that. And Nova would say, hey, like, in the hook, like, maybe we should sing it like this instead of doing it that way. And we helped massage a lot of Brandon's stuff, and Brandon had a lot of his input of his own. So it started out with, I wrote my stuff, Nova wrote her stuff, Brandon wrote her stuff. And then we all came together and listened to everybody's parts as a whole, and then did what was best for the particular song. So primarily, We all did our own stuff, and I made the beats and played the guitar and blah, 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 blah. But we all had a hand in each other's stuff at the end of the day. It truly is like the most collaborative project that I've ever made. I'm just flipping through here the questions. I'm just flipping through here, looking for stuff related to the album. Eric Johnson says, do you plan on doing another collaboration in the future with them? Honestly, like you guys know the music I make. Like you guys know that I do the fake wokes and the clown worlds, but I also do the I wishes and the canceleds, and I do the hang-ons and the hangmans, but I also do the everybody hates me and the buttholes. I do like a lot of different types of music that all sort of falls in my world. And when I do these collaboration projects, it allows me to step out of my comfort zone and sort of wander into new territory and create things different from what I would just be creating on my own. So I'm always going to do the collaboration projects. It allows me to spread my wings a little bit. I did Killing the Neighbors last year. I'm doing As Far as the Stars this year, and it's releasing Friday. And then, I'll probably do another collaboration project after that, next year. I'm not sure who that's going to be with. I don't know what form that's going to take. But I'm not the type of guy where I don't want to go feature on 500 rappers' songs and just do songs for the sake of doing songs because people want to get views and people want to collab and blah, blah, blah. Not really interested in that. I'm interested in creating bodies of work with people that can stand alone and be their own thing, and I think that's special. So you're not going to hear me on 50,000 rappers' songs, but you will hear me do collaborations, but they're going to be in the form of complete projects, start to finish. So am I going to do another collab with Nova and Brandon? I'm not sure. Right now, the collab project is As Far as the Stars, dropping Friday, and I'm not sure what collab project comes after that, but it won't be coming for a while because after this, I'm going full back into kick the internet in the teeth, piss the world off, offend everything that moves, Tom Macdonald solo album mode. But for now, we're making a pit stop, and thankfully, it's with an incredible body of work like As Far as the Stars, so I'm really excited. I'm just flipping through here. So a lot of people are asking how I met Nova and how I met Brandon and blah, 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 blah. And those people clearly missed the beginning of this live stream because I gave a massive explanation about an insight into my relationship with Nova and my friendship with Brandon. So if you want to know the answers to those questions about Nova and Brandon and probably some stories that you've never heard before, just start this live stream over, watch it from the beginning, and you'll get all that info in the first 20 minutes. Tiffany Ann says, what's the story behind the house that you used in No Good Bastards? No real story behind it, honestly. It was one of those situations where we were shooting our video here, like I said. Brandon was shooting his video in Canada. Brandon said, hey, I found this old rundown house. There's fucking garbage everywhere. There's a broke down truck, blah, 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 blah. And I said, that's perfect. Shoot your part of the video there. And then Nova, it was left up to Nova and I to try and figure out how we could match what Brandon already shot. And then through doing some searching and stuff, Nova found that house. We ended up driving over there, and it just fit the vibe of the video. It fit what Brandon already shot, and that's where we shot our verses for No Good Bastards. Jimmy Mack says, I guess this is stemming off of my admission that I kind of like Care Bears. He's asking if I like the Smurfs. Dude, that's weird that you said that because I never liked the Smurfs as a kid. And then just recently, like, my homie got a tattoo of a Smurf. And I was like, yo, that's fucking hard. I dig that, actually. So now I kind of like fuck with the Smurfs now. So, yeah, I'm probably going to get some Smurf art and stuffed dolls and shit like that. Smurfs are A-okay with me, man. Black, white, or blue. It don't matter. I love everybody, including the Smurfs. Okay. Flipping through the questions. Lindsay Ferguson says, can we order more than one of the new albums at a time? Shit, Lindsay, you can order all 10,000 of the new albums if you want, and then you could turn around and sell them for twice the price on eBay. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I made it, and I'm putting it out there to the world, and like I said, it's up to you guys what you want to do with it after that, so... Lindsay Ward says, was this kind of a way to live your astronaut dream, and was it your idea? Yo, that's so funny that you said that, Lindsay, because I literally said to Nova last night, Nova was like, what did she say? She said, yo, it's pretty funny that, like, you found a way to make a living just, like rhyming words in your phone all day or something like that. And I said, shit, not only did I find a way to make a living rhyming words in my phone, but I found a way to live out every single childhood fantasy job that I've ever wanted. I was Batman in a music video. I was a cowboy in a music video. I was an astronaut lately. I was a soldier. I've literally taken everything that I wanted to be as a child, and as a 32-year-old man, I'm now just dressing up in my house as all these different characters and rapping songs about it. It's the fucking greatest job in the world. So I didn't have to go to school and get straight A's to become an astronaut. I didn't have to pack my bags and move to Gotham to be Batman. I didn't even have to go to space to be an astronaut. I didn't have to enlist in the army to be a soldier. I didn't have to learn how to ride a horse and live on a farm to be a cowboy. I just did all this shit in the music, and it's pretty fucking cool. I've seen a couple people ask if Fake Woke, Clown World, Cancelled, etc. are going to be on this album. They are not. This album is a completely standalone collaboration album. Every song on this is brand new. You've never heard it. Fake Woke, Cancelled, Clown World, blah, blah, blah. All those big crazy songs. I got more big crazy songs coming for you right now. You have no idea what is coming for you right now. Trust me. But all of those songs, those are going on my next solo album. So after, as far as the stars, not immediately after, not for a while. I'm working on my solo album right now. I told Nova at the beginning of this year, I feel like I'm going to make the best album of my life this year. And I did not disappoint myself. My solo album is frickin' nuts. So all those songs that you guys are asking about, the Fake Wokes, Cancelled, Clown Worlds, blah, 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 those will be on my next solo album. As far as the stars, I keep almost grabbing it and then pulling it into frame. Oh, I can't show you. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I brought it in at the bottom there. This album, as far as the stars, is all brand new stuff. It is all completely different stuff. Like I said at the beginning of this 3-week thing, I'm serving up some fucking cherry pie, baby. The Fake Wokes and the Cancelleds and the Clown Worlds, that's apple pie. I had cherry pie for you guys. And this album, not only is it cherry pie, because I think cherry pie represents the 3 songs that we released, the rest of this album is like blueberry pie with ice cream. It's got fucking soul. Like, it's just something special and different. So there you go. I'm just flipping through here. Somebody said, what if we don't have a CD player for the new album? Get a CD player, buy a car that has a CD player in it, get a computer. Everybody has a computer. Rip the CD from the computer onto your phone and you're good to go. Kenton Melville says, what is the price of the new album? All of your previous albums are worth twice what you charge. Well, thank you very much, Kenton. I really appreciate that. I'm not, hold on one sec. I'm not jacking up the prices of my albums. I'm not raising the price. It's the same price as every other album's always been, $15. $15, you get yourself a brand new physical copy of my album mailed to your front door from my house to yours, and call it a day, man. I'm not, I see a lot of these guys, they start out making shirts for, $25, $30. And then all of a sudden they have 5 million followers and 20 bazillion views on their shit. And all of a sudden their shirts and stuff are $50, $60 and their albums are $30 and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, as they grow and become more popular, the price of their shit just like inflates, which I understand. I get it. But man, it's just like, you guys know me, man. I don't do the like VIP meet and greets for extra money. Like, I don't charge people to meet me at meet and greets. I do the meet and greets for free. I show up to every show early. I meet everyone. I stay late at every show. I meet everyone. I take the photos. I shake the hands. I give the hugs. I hear the stories. I do all that. Like, and I'm not comfortable with jacking up the price of CDs just because we're more popular now. Like, it's just lame. I want the same people that afforded the album 3 years ago. I want them to still be able to afford the album now. So it's $15 all in, end of story. And I'm never going to jack up the price of my CDs. So there you go. I'm just flipping through here. Richard Robert says, did Brandon play any instruments on the songs? Nope, he did not. I played all the instruments on the songs. I produce all of the music. And I actually did it in this room right here. So that was all me. I'm just flipping through here looking for more questions, guys. Ricky J. Hilliard says, why don't you put your videos out for purchase? I don't even know how I do that. The videos are free. I'm already like selling people CDs. I don't need to sell people my videos too. The videos are free. Feel free to watch them and share them and do all that. Corey Sampson says, are you going to have any bundles? I would love to get a shirt, and I still need to buy the last 2 albums. There are going to be a few bundles. I made some really, well, I didn't. Nova and I both made some like really amazing, as far as the Stars shirts. So there will be some merch bundles and some merch packs that drop on Friday as well. They haven't been finalized yet. I don't know exactly what's going to be in them. I don't know exactly how many there's going to be, but there's definitely going to be some merch packs and some merch bundles, and then those will obviously be, the CDs are limited. As long as we can keep up with orders, they're going to be going out. When we run out, we will get a refill. We will re-up. But the merch bundles they're always limited. Once the merch bundles are sold out, they're done. So just keep an eye open for those. And I hope that answers your question. Maxim Lamoth says, what is the audio quality of the files on the CDs? I think they're FLAC files. So that's as high quality as you can humanly get when it comes to music. So I put so much work and into making these beats, and Nova and Brandon and I put so much work into writing these songs, and then Evan put so much work into mixing and mastering the albums that like it has to be the highest quality audio files on the CD. It's the only way. I couldn't live with myself doing any less than that. So I don't know if it's FLAC or like some sort of HQ wave file. It's one of the two. It's the highest quality audio that you can get on a CD. Which just reminds me that I should say this. Evan Morgan, the guy that mixes and masters all my music, there was a few songs on this album where he literally hit me up freaking the fuck out at like 1, 2 a.m. saying like, yo, I just mixed this song. I think this might be the best mix I've ever done in my life. Just freaking out. So not only is this album, Nova, Brandon, and I, some of our best work, it is unquestionably some of Evan's best work as well. And that came from him. And that's a guy that's literally mixed like Our Lady Peace records and all types of big band songs. And he was hitting me up about this album being like, these songs are fucking unbelievable. This is my best mixing and mastering I've ever done. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm not just blowing smoke trying to sell you guys something. Go find Evan. He comments on my posts on Instagram. Evan has a YouTube channel. Evan has a Facebook. Evan has a website with an email address. Get in touch with Evan. Ask him how he felt about this album. I should literally screenshot that guy's texts and post them on my Instagram because he was freaking the fuck out. And it just so happens that that's also a really, really great endorsement for how good this project is. So shout out to Evan. Whoops, sorry guys, I just had a call come in which I ignored. I was flipping through here. Yeah, Troy Harris just said, I have all of Tom's CDs and they are so much better than listening to him on Pandora or Spotify. Sounds 100 times better in the car on my system. So, I mean, I guess that's a testament to how high quality the songs on the CDs actually are. Robert J. Chase says, does it get tiring answering the same questions repeatedly? Honestly, not really, man, because since this pandemic started, I haven't seen that many people in person. So hanging out with you guys on the internet, whether we're talking about new stuff or covering stuff that we've talked about a million times before, at least I'm getting to talk and interact with you guys. I haven't seen you on tour in over a year, so I don't really give a shit what we're talking about at this point in time. If it's something we talked about a million times or something brand new, I'm just happy I get to talk to you guys because it's been a year since I could perform for you. So this is, I don't care if we've gone over it a million times or not. I'm down to chat. I'm just moving from the comment section on my phone because I've run out of questions here. I'm moving to the comment section on my computer and I'll answer some more questions. I think there's a lot of people that are just joining the chat now. So I'm getting asked a lot about questions that we've already answered. So I'll just encourage everybody to go back in time and watch the beginning of this live stream. Jamie Barth says, does this album stay in the alternative rap genre or have you invented a new genre too? So I think what he's asking about is because like Heart Emojis was sort of had a punk pop feel to it and No Good Bastards had a rock feel to it and Church had sort of like an alternative vibe to it as well. He's asking if the whole album stays sort of in that world. So the best way I can put it is there are elements of those three songs sort of scattered about the album. There are also a lot. we disconnected for a minute. There's also a lot of other elements and other pieces of genres all over this album. At its core, this is a hip-hop album. I'm rapping, Nova's rapping, Brandon's singing. He does a little bit of rapping too. But we broke up again. But this album is not punk pop. This album is not rock. This album is not alternative. This is a hip-hop album, but it is completely different than any hip-hop you've ever heard before. This is hip-hop, again, this is hip-hop done in a completely new way, on a completely different format. I said to Nova when I finished writing every song and finished up this album, I said to Nova, I'm pretty sure we created a genre with this. I'm pretty sure we've invented a new... And we broke up again, but it is something completely different than anything I've ever heard before. If I haven't heard it, I'm sure it's completely different than anything you guys have heard before. Like I said, man, there's guitars, there's synthesizers, there's pianos, there's strings, there's horns, there's rapping, there's singing, it is just a completely different beast. It is its own animal. Like, I don't know how to classify this album. When you guys get it and you listen to it, you decide, what genre are you listening to? What genre does this album fall into? Because I don't think that there's a genre right now that could hold this thing. I really don't. Like, this is, and I don't want to just like tout my creativity or pat myself on the back for being innovative, but I really do think we created something completely different than anything that's ever been done before. I really think it was that type of innovation. I can't wait to show it to you guys. Somebody said, tell Nova to stop wiggling the Ethernet cable because we broke up a couple times there. Somebody just said, this new genre needs a new name. Yo, you're damn right this genre needs a new name. So if you guys, when you get the album, okay, I've just been calling it Cherry Pie. So when you guys get the album and you hear it, you let me know what you think that genre should be called. I'll let you guys tell me what that genre is, okay? I don't know what the deal is. The internet's going crazy right now. Maybe there's a storm outside. Maybe there's like a chipmunk chewing on my internet cord. I don't know. But I've talked a lot about the album. And it's drops on. We just keep breaking up right here. I'm sorry, guys. The album drops Friday morning, 9 a.m. That's one day away. Any more questions you have answered will be answered when you get that album. Nova, Brandon, and I went through hell to make this thing possible for you guys. We really, really did. We went through hell in the middle of a pandemic. We broke up again. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you enjoy it half as much as we enjoyed making this thing, it's going to be a home run. Friday morning, 9 a.m., brand new album. As Far as the Stars, Tom Macdonald, Brandon Hart, Nova Rockefeller. I cannot wait for you guys to hear this thing. And we broke up again. 2 times in 10 seconds. So on that note, I'm going to go. New album, Friday morning, 9 a.m. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Hope you enjoy the new album. Please buy a copy on Friday. Nova, Brandon, and I would all really appreciate it. We just broke up again, man. Fuck it. I love you. Hangover Gang forever. Be strong. Stay smart. Friday morning, 9 a.m. New album. Love y'all. Bye.